Hi everyone, this is Saad Aslam. I hope you are all doing well. So today the question we are going to solve is the longest palindrome. First discuss the problem statement of it. Given a string s which consists of lowercase or uppercase letters and return the length of the longest palindrome. The thing is like we have to return the length, not the actual palindrome. We just have to return the length of the longest palindrome. Letters are case sensitive, for example, capital A and lower a is not considered a palindrome. Okay, so two things we need to understand, like we just have to return the length, not the actual palindrome, and the other thing is like the letters will be case sensitive, like capital A and lower a are different, so these will not be considered as a palindrome. So what is a palindrome? So basically, palindrome, if we pronounce a word from the forward or from the backward, it is pronounced the same. Like we have a word mom. So if we pronounce it from the front like M-O-M, so mom, it will be pronounced the same. Like same alphabets will be considered when we pronounce it from the reverse, like M-O-M. Like both in both directions, the occurrence of the words will remain the same. Okay, so we have an example like S is A, B, triple C, and double D, and the output is 7. So let's first discuss how we can return the length of the longest palindrome. We will take this example in our whiteboard section. So meanwhile, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure to subscribe my YouTube channel and all of the YouTube stuff. So now let's go to our whiteboard screen to understand the examples and the approach of this question. Okay, so here we are in our whiteboard section. First we need to understand the different types of palindromes. We have even palindrome and we have odd palindrome. So first, in first example, we can see like in even palindrome, we can see like A, B, C, and D, and D, C, B, and A. Like if we check like both the elements, like if we check the elements from the front and from the back, they have the same, you can say, repetition. And also the occurrences are even, like all the letters that are in use, all the alphabets that are in used have the even number of occurrences. Like A have 2 occurrences, B have 2 occurrences, D and C have 2 occurrences, and D have 2 occurrences. So all the alphabets have even number of occurrences. In odd palindrome, there will be one element that will have odd number of occurrences, other will have even number of occurrences. Suppose like A, B, C, D and D, C, B, A, these have even number of occurrences. Only one, there can be only one alphabet that have odd number of occurrences. Suppose this is one, it has odd number of occurrences. This if it can also be something like A, B, C, D, E, 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 D, C, B, A. In the same, this is also a palindrome. Like here we can see like A, B, C, D, E and D, C, B, A. These are have even number, like these are same, only the E part is 3. Like it can be 1, it can be 5, it can be 7. So there are there are two types of palindromes, like even palindrome and odd palindrome. So the approach will be something like, if the palindrome is even, that will be simple. Like we just have to count the occurrences of each alphabet, and we have to sum the result of each of the occurrences. Like suppose we in first example we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have the occurrence of A. The occurrence of A is 2. The occurrence of B is 2. The occurrence of C is 2, and occurrence of D is 2. In even number of palindrome, if it is an even palindrome, we just have to count the occurrences and we have to sum them up. So the length will be something like 2, 4, 6, and 8. So for even That is simple, like we just have to count the occurrence of the alphabets and have to sum up. For odd palindrome, it is quite something different. Let's take the example and also understand it. Okay, so now let's discuss our odd case. Okay, so in this example, suppose we have A is equals to 1, B is equals to 1, C is equals to 4, and D is equals to 4. Okay, so if there will be two conditions, like if it is even, we just have to add it in the result, like if even, okay, we just have to add it in the result plus plus. Okay, else if it is odd, like if the occurrence of the element is odd, we need to first remove we have to decrement the count of the occurrences by 1 and then add it to the result. Like suppose if it is odd, we have to first the occurrences, suppose the occurrence minus and then we have to add it into the result. So this is the else condition we have to check, and at the end when we add all of the elements, we just have to add 1 to the total result. Okay, so suppose if even, then result we simply have to add it in the result. If it is odd, we first have to decrement the occurrence of that alphabet, then add it in the result. Okay, or after processing all of the elements, we simply have to increment the result by 1. Why we are doing that? Let's understand this why. Okay, so here we have we have checked the occurrences. Now let's try to check what can be the palindrome in that case. Okay. Oh, sorry, VA. So for D we have this 2. Okay, so now let's try to make use of our if condition. Okay, so if for first it is not even, so what we have to do is like we will go to this condition. Okay, we decrement the occurrence of it. So currently A is 0. So when we decrement this, so what will be the result? Let's take this red. So when we decrement, so A is 0, and after adding the result will be currently result is 0. Okay. Now for B, it is also odd. Okay. So we go to the else condition. We first decrement the count. Okay, and then we add it in the result. As B is also 0, the result will be again 0. Now we go to C. As C is 4 and it is even, so we will go to the first if condition and we add the occurrence of C in the result. So after adding C in the result, our result will be 4. Okay. Now we are checking D. So as D is also even, we will go to the if condition and we add the occurrence of D in the result, and the result will be 6. So as we have processed all of our alphabets, so we have processed this condition. So as I discussed earlier, after processing all of the alphabets, if there is any odd number of odd occurrences found, we simply have to increment the the total result if there was an odd occurrence. So in our case we have found 2 odd occurrences, so we will increment our result by 1. So after increment our result, it will be 7. If there are all even number of occurrences, we do not have to increment by 1. If there is any single odd occurrence, so after processing we have to increment the result by 1. So this will be the length of the longest palindrome. We have calculated it by using our frequency table. Let's try to understand how the palindrome can be formed from this. Like suppose we have A, B, C. So if we check, like suppose C, C, D, and we can take A or B. That can be it can be something like A, and D, C, C. So when we check the length of it, it can be 3, 3, 6, and 7. Okay, so also we can, the other palindrome that can be formed is, there can be multiple combinations. They just have required the length of the longest palindrome, not the actual palindrome. Okay, so there can be multiple combinations, like suppose this can be D, C, C, B, C, C, and D. So there can be multiple combinations of it. We just have to return the length. We do not have to form the different palindromes. Okay, so that is the approach of it. I hope you have understand the approach of it. The approach is simple. Let's quickly revise. If the occurrence is even, we simply have to add it in the result. If the occurrence is odd, we first have to decrement the occurrence of the alphabet, then add it in the result. Okay, so after processing all of the alphabets, if we found any odd occurrence, then we have to increment the total result by 1. If there were only even occurrences, we do not have to increment the result. We simply have to return the result. So that's the approach of it. So that will be quite easy for you when we start our implementation of it. So now let's go to the implementation part of it. So here you can see we in our whiteboard section we have discussed this example 1. So the output was 7. As we calculated, the output was 7. One longest palindrome that can be built is DCCA, CCD, whose length is 7, and there can be different combinations. Like we just have to return the length of the palindrome. Okay, as discussed, now let's try to first implement this in Java, and after that we will quickly implement in C++ too. So first we need to initialize an array in which we can add the occurrences of our alphabets. We can use array, we can use hash map. There can be multiple approaches of it. We are going with the array because it will have less space complexity as compared to when we are using map. So that's why we are using array. So we can use int, and we can name is that count is equals to new int, and we are initializing it with 128. Like the ASCII characters are 128, so that's why we are initializing it with 128. So for first we have to calculate the occurrences of each of the alphabets in the string. So we can simply say character C is equal to S. So the string is S. We first have to make it to a character array so that we can traverse it through the string. Okay, and then we add count C and plus plus. So that what this will do, like this will check the alphabet, and it will check the index of it and simply increment it. Like suppose we have A, it will check the ASCII number of it and it will increment it. So whenever we encounter A or any other alphabet, this will go to the same index of it and increment it. Okay, so if we find a, suppose it has the index 65, it will go to the index 65 and increment it, and similarly for the alphabets. So this will make our, you can say, frequency table, that we have a jargon like frequency table or occurrences of it. Okay. Okay, character C S2 character array. Okay. So after that we are again going and for another loop for. So in count array there will be the frequencies of occurrence. So there will be the frequencies or occurrences of the alphabets in the string. We have to loop through each of the characters and we have to find the occurrences and add it in the result. So we can also make a result int result. Okay, int result is equal, initializing it with 0. Okay, occurrences and count. Okay, so if occurrence so this will check for even case, like for even values, even. Okay, and if the occurrence is a even value, we simply have to add it in the result. Result plus occurrence. Okay, and for odd values we will go to the else condition. So we also have to make use of a boolean variable to check if there is any odd value found. Okay, so that we can add the result after processing all of the alphabets. So we can make use of a boolean variable like boolean odd value. Okay, and in that case, okay, so we will check if any odd value is found. We will update it to true. Okay, so if any odd value is found, we will it to true. Okay, then we will decrement the occurrence minus minus, and we will add occurrence. Okay, and after processing all of the alphabets, like when the for loop ends, we will check if there is any odd value is found. We will increment our final result. So if odd value, okay, so if true, then we will increment the result plus. Okay, so plus, and after that we are going to return the result. Okay, so now let's check for any syntax errors. In count new int result is equals to 0, odd value is false, is 0, otherwise true. Occurrence. Okay, so now let's run this code. Okay, so the code has run successfully. Now let's submit this. Okay, so the code has submitted successfully. So there's the implementation of it. Now let's quickly implement in C++. This code will be similar to in C++2. Just a couple of tweaks we have to make in C++. Okay. 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 Integer and count. Hmm, 128. Initializing the integer, and we okay. To result is this bool and okay, so I think that is enough for this. Okay, the code has run successfully in C++2. The same code can be used in C++. Just a couple of tweaks. Now let's submit this. Okay, so here you can see the code has submitted to in C++2. So the approach, I hope you have understand the approach and the implementation of it. If you have any questions regarding this question, you can let me know in comments. If you have any queries further, you can reach me out on LinkedIn as well. I have a complete playlist on this problem solving questions. You can go and check out that too. This will be available in my channel with the playlist as LeetCode questions solutions. Sorry. So if you have any questions, you can let me know in comments. So see you in the next video. Bye bye.